What is going on, guys? Mills here bringing you some fire content on the Fire Day 18 channel. In today's vid, we got another roster update. Second one of the year, lots of new things to cover, lots of new stuff to see, whether our predictions were correct. So let's get started with the first one. So Garrett Cole gets a +1 in hits per 9 and +5 in walks per 9, moving him up to a 92. He's been killing it lately. Max Scherzer gets a +1 there. He's going to an 89 as well. +4s in his hits per 9 and walks per 9, making him much more valuable as a card. Shane Bieber, he goes down to an 88. Kind of bad for me because I have him in my starting lineup. -3 in hits per 9, so hasn't been too hot recently. Or he's still good, but not as good, but he still only went down 1. Next up, Clayton Kershaw went down by 1, so now he's down to an 86. So very significant, I'd say, downgrade, especially for a diamond, as now he's 86 overall with a -2 in his hits per 9 and a -4 in his K per 9. The rest of these, you only see minor boosts in Darvish, minor upgrade in Aaron Nola and Walker Buehler, staying in 85. One of the biggest upgrades here, though, is Brandon Woodruff. He goes up to an 85 overall diamond as a starting pitcher for the Brewers. So their collection just got a little bit harder, as you got a +5 hit per 9 and a +3 K per 9 upgrade. So wow, that's actually a really big upgrade for starting pitchers. Huge upgrade, actually. Getting another diamond onto our list. Next up, Lance Lynn. He stays at 84. He doesn't quite go up to diamond, and I was anticipating this. He has a +3 in his hits per 9 and a -1 in his K per 9, staying in 84. Jack Flaherty gets a minor upgrade into that 83 overall. +2 in his hits per 9, +5 in his walks per 9, but a -3 in his Ks per 9. So overall, he gets upgraded a little bit. It's not terrible. Next up, Lucas Giolito. He's playing now down to an 82 overall. -3s in his hits per 9 and K per 9 to put him in that position. A 3.6 ERA as well, lowers him down to an 82. And that's not the only AL Central pitcher affected. Kenta Maeda, who started the year as an 84, is now down to an 81. Very depressing. -4 hit per 9, -2 K per 9. That's depressing for me as a Twins fan, the fact that I paralleled him up a lot. And just to see him get downgraded like this is very sad to see. Seriously, guys, -1. But hey, one of my predictions were correct. Tyler Glasnow goes up to gold, so I was right about this guy. I was right about this card. He's up now to an 81 overall, +6 in his hits per 9, +4 in his K per 9. I'm glad I saw this coming, and I got that prediction correct. Shohei Ohtani gets some solid upgrade in +7 hits per 9 and -2 in his walks per 9. He's had a terrific year, to say the least. Deserved that upgrade immensely. Joe Musgrove continues on the pretty impressive year he's had with +2s in his hits per 9, walks per 9, and +3 in his K per 9, putting him up to an 81. Julio Urias gets up to an 80 overall now. +6 in his walks per 9, +2 in his K per 9, and a -2 in his hits per 9. Put him in this very solid position, adding another gold to the Dodgers collection. Once again, solid upgrade for the Dodgers. Next up, Mccullars Jr. He's going up to a gold. +5 in his hits per 9 and -2 in his walks per 9 puts him in this position. Very, very solid pitcher. Actually gets a pretty big upgrade. Next up, another big upgrade. Kevin Gausman goes up to gold now. He's been playing a lot better since leaving the Orioles. +6 in his hits per 9, +1 in his walk per 9, -1 in his K per 9, but he still reaches that gold tier that everyone's been waiting to see. Charlie Morton, he used to be a diamond actually not too long ago in a past game, but now here he is at an 80 overall. Huge downgrade in his hits per 9 and Ks per 9, and a small downgrade in his walks per 9, putting him down to an 80. Along with Blake Snell. Curiously, he's had a 4.19 ERA, so he's gotten downgrades in his Ks per 9 and walks per 9, which makes a lot of sense with 23 walks and only 49 strikeouts, so makes a little bit of sense there. Zach Wheeler goes up to a gold. Honestly, I wasn't really too sure about this considering his last 3 years, but he's been really solid this year, so very deserving upgrade there, putting him up +7 in his hits per 9, +1 in his walks per 9, so huge thing to see there, very good upgrade. And once again, another prediction of ours goes right. Freddie Peralta, he goes up to gold, +3 in his hits per 9, gets a small upgrade, but it's just enough. And John Means, he doesn't go up to gold. That surprises me. He still is going up a lot. We all anticipated an upgrade, but seriously, not gold? Wow. Well, he still gets solid upgrades across the board. +8 in his hits per 9, +6 in his K per 9, and +4 in his walks per 9. Pushed him up to a near borderline gold, actually, and high silver. So solid boost there either way. Chris Paddock goes down to a silver, -2 in his hits per 9, -1 in his K per 9, -1 in his walks per 9. So now he's easier to get. Moving on to page 4, Jameson Taillon is now up to a high 79 now, high silver. +3 in his hits per 9, +1 in his K per 9, and +3 in his walks per 9. They're only basing off those stat guys. It's not about the win and loss in the ERA here, I guess. I think that's why he got the upgrade. It's amazing though, he's near gold. Next up, Chris Bassett. He gets a solid upgrade into the 78. +2 in his K per 9, +4 in his walks per 9. Zach also gets an upgrade up to a 78. +2 in his hits per 9, +4 in his walks per 9. Carlos Rodon continues amazing here with a .58 ERA, +4 in his K per 9, +6 in his walks per 9. The reason why I think he's not quite a gold yet is mostly because he's never been like a guy who has played at a gold this past 2 years, but this year he's been playing more than enough to be gold. So expect him to be a gold in the future updates. This is still nevertheless a well-deserved upgrade. Michael Pineda goes up to a 78. He's been pretty solid recently for the Twins. Indeed, one of the only bright spots. +7 in his hits per 9 puts him up to a 78 overall. Next up, Louise Castillo goes down to a silver. -7 in hits per 9, -6 in his Ks per 9, and a +2 in the walks per 9 puts him in this position. He's actually been kind of terrible this year, so sorry to hear that, especially since he has a 42 series card. Next up, Eduardo Rodriguez, now down to a 78 overall. He's a -4, -5 in his hits per 9, Ks per 9, but a +5 in his walks per 9 does maintain it so he doesn't get a huge downgrade, only really -4 overall, so he's only down to a 78. And the saddest day has arrived. Zach Grimke, the big veteran, is no longer a gold. He is officially a live series silver with -5 in his hits per 9 and -1 in his K per 9, which make a lot of sense, at least for the hits per 9, because he's given up a lot more hits recently. Next up, Aaron Seville. +5 in his hits per 9, -2 in his Ks per 9, -2 in his walks per 9. Puts him, staying him at a 78. Andrew Heaney gets down to a 78. He hasn't been too hot recently, -4 in his hits per 9. Nothing more to say there. Alex Wood gets a solid upgrade, +8 in his hits per 9, +3 in his K per 9, make him a much more valuable silver at 77 overall. Marcus Stroman, well-deserved as well, gets an upgrade up to a 77. -5 in his stamina, interesting, +3 in his hits per 9, -2 in his K per 9, and +3 in his walks per 9. He's only given up 8 walks, so I'd say it's pretty impressive, well-deserved as well. It's actually been really good. Sandy Alcantara goes up to a 77, +3 in his hits per 9, +5 in his walks per 9. Very underrated year. Matthew Boyd goes up to a 77, +4 in his hits per 9, -3 in his K per 9, +2 in his walks per 9, puts him in that position. Danny Duffy makes the climb to a gold, 77 overall with +7 in his hits per 9, +2s in Ks per 9 and walks per 9. He's been having quite a better year to say the least, so definitely deserved. Bumgarner trying to make that climb back up to gold here. Gets a +6 in his hits per 9, +4 in his K per 9, and +1 in his walks per 9. He's definitely having a much better year this year, even with the high ERA. Look at his whip, look at everything else. He's been still handling a very impressive year. Moving on to page 6, Jordan Montgomery goes up to a 76, +4 in his hits per 9, +3 in his walks per 9. Cannot wait for myself not to say those words anymore. Tyler Mahle goes up to a 76, hits per 9 goes up +4, a slight upgrade in Ks per 9. Taj Walker, another guy I predicted to go up. So far, I'm 3 for 3, or 3 for 4 in my predictions so far. I am very accurate except for the John Means gold upgrade. So far, I am almost perfect on my predictions. +7 in his hits per 9 gets him up there. Really well deserved because he's been having a very terrific season compared to his past. J. Happ kind of stays. He gets a +2 in his hits per 9 to -3 in his Ks per 9. Kind of makes sense because he almost threw that no-hitter recently, but he did also give up a lot of runs. So overall, I'd say it's a big mix. Big upgrade here, +4 for Ynoa. He goes up to a 76. +8 in his hits per 9, +6 in his walks per 9 being the most notable upgrades. And yeah, I mean, what more can I say about this guy? You got a huge upgrade into the silver zone. Nathan Eovaldi escapes borderline silver range with a +1 in basically his overall, +3 in his hits per 9, +2 in his walks per 9, but a -2 in his K per 9. Next up, Anthony Deschafani gets up to a silver, +8 in his hits per 9, +18 in his home runs per 9, and a +3 in his walks per 9. So he got a really huge upgrade. Wow. He must have been much better at not giving up homers this year, because clearly he got a big upgrade. Next up, Kyle Hendricks, 76 overall. -7 in his hits per 9 and a -1 in his walks per 9. Overall, mostly downgrades, puts him down to a 76. Next up, Robbie Gray goes right up to the silver range again. +1 is hits per 9, but a +11 is walks per 9 carries him into the 76 range. Just like downgrading came for 9. Sean Manaea goes back up to silver. +3s in his hits per 9, Ks per 9, and a +2 in his walks per 9. More than put him on that list. Another pitcher who was expected to do really well and get a 42, who has a 42 series card. German Marquez is not having a great year. -3 in his hit per 9, -5 in his K per 9, or walks per 9, and -1 in his K per 9 put him in this position. Very depressing. Next up, Jon Gray, +4 in his hits per 9, -1 and -3 in Ks per 9, and walks per 9. So, could be a little better, but he did stay. Nothing too crazy changed. Trevor Rogers goes up to a 75. +6 and 7 in his stamina and hits per 9, puts him up to that 75 overall. Nice right there. Nice upgrade. Ryan Yarbrough goes down to a 75, -2 in his hits per 9. Zach Eflin goes up to silver. I always remember this guy making his debut. Gets a +6 in his walks per 9, very much helping out his upgrade to silver. Wade Miley, +15 in his hits per 9, +6 in his walks per 9. So, trend I'm noticing is that if you pitch a no-hitter or something, you get a much better hits per 9. So, I definitely did see this guy getting upgraded. I think I put him as like the bronze. I wanted to go silver, so I might have been a little wrong there. I might have put him in honorable mentions. I honestly really don't remember, but either way, I do think this guy did deserve his upgrade. I didn't expect him to go incredibly high, but I did expect him to at least get somewhere past where he was. So a good upgrade to 68 overall to 73 is awesome. So Adam Wainwright goes up to 73. Not much more really to say there. Upgrades in hits per 9 and walks per 9. Kyle Gibson, former Twin, goes up to +9 in his hits per 9, doing a lot better this year. Gee, I wonder why. Oh yeah, because he left the Twins. Domingo German, +3 in his hits per 9 and +8 in his walks per 9, give him up to a 73. Randy Dobnak got a position change, and that really did change his overall up to a 72 now. Adrian Hauser stays the same. Tyler Anderson gets a solid upgrade up to a 72. +8 in his hits per 9. Luis Garcia goes up to a 72. +5s and +6 in hits per 9. Case walks per 9 being in the most notable aspect. Mize Kikuchi goes up +7 in his hits per 9. +4 in his Ks per 9. Next up, Casey Mize. +1 gets +8 in his hits per 9, -5 in his Ks per 9. Dylan Cease goes up to a 71, +8 in his hits per 9, +5 in his Ks per 9. Foley Wetsnick goes up to a 71, Shane goes up to a 70, and that's really all the major upgrades here. Moving on to relievers. James Karinchak goes up to Diamond. So he gets a +5 in his hits per 9, +1 in his K per 9, and a +7 in his walks per 9. I'm so mad, guys. I could have sold him. I sold him before he went up to Diamond yesterday. Oh my god. I'm just, by the way, the first time I'm seeing these, so I'm not even faking my reaction. Wow, 85 overall though, he's pushed up into the Diamond tier. Gallegos gets an upgrade up to an 82, +8 in his hits per 9, +3 in his walks per 9. Trevor May, former Twin, goes up to an 82, +15 in that walks per 9. -6s and -2s in his hits per 9 and Ks per 9. Still a solid reliever though. Tyler Duffy gets a big downgrade now to silver. Makes sense, he hasn't been having the best of years. -5 in his hits per 9, -6 in his Ks per 9, and -5 in his walks per 9. So not very impressive to say the least. Aaron Bummer becomes better as a BR card, +4 in his hits per 9. Michael Kopech goes up in the position range to a 77, +14 in his hits per 9, and +7 in Ks per 9 and walks per 9, but a -24 in his stamina kills that any big overall gain. Ryan Stanek goes up to a 77, +3 in his hits per 9, +4 in his walks per 9. Craig Stamen goes up to a silver, +5 in his hits per 9, +2 in his walks per 9. Moving up to page 2 here, TJ Anton is now a 74, +10 in his hits per 9, being the most notable upgrade there. Tanner Rainey goes down to a bronze, -5s in his hits per 9, Ks per 9 being the most notable downgrades there. So Petit gets a slight upgrade, but not an overall change. Same with position change for Alondra Serrero. Sam Coonrod gets some big upgrades. Never heard of him, but he's having a good year, so gotta be commending him for that impressive control and walk per 9 upgrades. Alex Colon goes down to 71, depressing. -4 in his hits per 9, -4 in his walks per 9 being most notable. Lou Trevino doesn't really gets a minor upgrade. Luis Patino goes up to a 71, and that's about like all the big upgrades we got here. more just big upgrades from commons or, you know, just bronze upgrades. So nothing too crazy. Untitled Chapter goes up to bronze, so that's cool. Closers now. Josh Hader goes up to an 88, becoming more valuable. +5 in his hits per 9. Aroldis Chapman, we all expected this one. He's been having a really good year. +4 in his hits per 9 and +4 in his walks per 9 pushes him up to that 87. Wow, well-deserved upgrade. Liam Hendricks gets +10, so he stays at an 85, but -4s and -3s to his hits per 9 and K per 9. Matt Barnes goes up to a gold. Not surprising considering he did get a Player of the Month like card. So +8 in his hits per 9, plus, what was that? I don't know what that was. +3 in his K per 9 and +9 in his walks per 9, up to 82 gold. Card Kimbrel stays at an 81. Basically a neutral, very neutral upgrade. +5 in his hits per 9 does help him out. Kenley Jansen goes down to an 80, +4 in his hits per 9, but -2, -6 in his Ks per 9, walks per 9, which does make a little bit of sense if you look at those strikeouts and walks. Kendall Graveman gets a big upgrade to a 78 overall silver now, +15 in his hits per 9, +7 in his Ks per 9, +4 in his walks per 9. Martin Lanson, I remember this guy. He had a really good game actually when I saw him pitch against, what was the team? Oh yeah, the Dodgers, and he went +14 in his hits per 9, +8 in his walks per 9. Not surprising at all. Very deserved upgrade. Next up, nothing too crazy. A lot of position changes / maybe minor upgrades and downgrades. Jake Diekman stays at 76. Ian Kennedy does go up +5 to that 74 overall now with +10 in his walks per 9, +6 in his hits per 9, and +3 in his Ks per 9. Next up, Alex Reyes goes up to a 67 overall, +7 in his hits per 9. Gregory Soto goes down to a 65. Now we're finally out of the pitcher zone. Let's go ahead and look at the hitters. So JT Realmuto stays at an 87, gets some upgrades in his contact and maybe a little bit of power, but downgrades in power v lefty's vision and upgrade in discipline. Buster Posey getting one of the bigger upgrades here, going up to an 84 now. Huge, big upgrades in his contact, solid upgrades in his power, and a good upgrade in discipline. Pushes him back up to gold, maybe making the push in case for diamond again. Who knows, guys? It could happen if he keeps hitting this well. But considering his age, I'm not too sure. Yasmani Grandal gets upgrades in his contact v lefties, discipline, and power, but he does get downgrades in righty contact and vision, so he stays at an 82. Carson Kelly goes up to a 79. +17 in his contact v righties, +3 in his contact v lefties, +4 in his vision, and +10 in his discipline, pushes him in near gold level. Jacob Stallings goes up to a 78. So +6 in his contact v righties, +3 in his power, +6 in his power versus lefties, +13 in his discipline, being huge notable upgrades from here. Don Gomes gets out of 75, goes into 77. Contact gets an upgrade, his vision being also the most notable upgrade, but a huge downgrade in his discipline. So very sad to see there. James McCann down to a 77, gets big downgrades in his contact and power v righties, but power v lefties and discipline go slightly up, making the downgrade less worse, but still really bad. Travis d'Arnaud gets some downgrades for the most part and some upgrades. He did kind of get injured recently, so that's probably a factor into this as well. But he also hasn't really been hitting the best this year, too. Page 2 now. Yerman Mercedes, not surprising that he went up to a silver. He's still continuing how well he's been hitting with good contact upgrades, a +3 in power versus righties, and +4 vision, so he's maintaining good pace here. Sean Murphy stays the same, nothing too crazy here, -10 in his discipline though. Tucker Barnhart makes the reach for gold for silver. +6 in his contact v righties, +10 in his contact v lefties, +13 in his power v lefties, -8 in his vision, -7 in his discipline. Mike Zunino, 75 overall, +10 in his contact v lefties, +7 and 8 in his power v righties and power v lefties. Pretty solid upgrades for Zunino, and a little bit of downgrades too. Still a silver. Kyle Higashioka maintaining a solid okay pace here, gets some +16 and +10 in his contact v lefties and power v lefties, +10 in his discipline, pushes him near that silver level. And speaking of bad silvers, Gary Sanchez and Mitch Garver go down to bronze. I'm not too surprised about Garver, he's been slumping. Gary, I'm also not really too surprised about either. He did get a discipline and power v lefties upgrade, but a huge downgrade in his contact v righties and power v righties. So very big downgrades there that overall affect the gameplay. Next up, Tom Murphy gets a downgrade down to a 72, same with Austin Hedges. Very big downgrades. Zach Collins goes up to a 72. Upgrades in vision and discipline. Next up, Molinado down to a 72. Downgrades in his contact, downgrade in his power of righties. Everything else, not really too much noteworthy elsewhere. That's about it for the huge upgrades though. We got a little bit of upgrades here in this and Jose Trevino. Now let's check out first base. Giolito almost hits that 84 overall tier. So plus 10 is contact v righties, plus 9 is contact v lefties, plus 8 is power v lefties, and plus 15 discipline. Push him near that diamond level. Next up, Jose Abreu, down to an 83. Still kind of not finding his stride here. He's going to lose his worth a little more here with minus 3 in his contact v lefties, plus 3 in power v lefties, minus 8 vision, and plus 6 discipline. Paul Goldschmidt goes down to an 81. He's not had an incredible year like he usually does. Minus 8 in his contact v righties. Does get some upgraded lefty contact and righty power. Gets downgrades in power v lefties, vision, and most of all, discipline. Rizzo also gets some downgrades as well, down to an 81, plus 9 contact v lefties, and plus 4 discipline, making sure that doesn't get any worse. One of my predictions, Jared Walsh does go up to gold here, as he gets upgraded in contact and power v righties, downgrades in his lefty stuff, but plus 15 in his discipline is probably what decided him to go up to gold. Same with Jesus Aguilar. Big upgrades all over the place in power, vision, discipline, and contact v righties. Pushed him to gold. Same with Martin Maldonado. So this is probably the most golds we've seen go up to gold. As now Carlos Santana's a gold with his contact upgrade plus 2 power v righties, but a downgrade in his power v lefties and discipline. Or no upgrade in discipline. Eric Hosmer stays at 79, so he gets upgrades all over the place, but a downgrade in righty and power and contact does affect his chance at reaching gold. Next up, CJ Cron's up to a 79. He's having a pretty solid year once again. Contact v righties and lefties go up. Power v lefties goes up. Plus 25 discipline probably was the big game changer here, but a minus 2 in his vision. Mancini and Brandon Belt stay at 76s, getting solid upgrades in general, but nothing enough to really push him to that plus 1 overall. Ryan Zimmerman goes up to a 76. Gets some contact upgrades, a plus 3 power upgrade, and a minus 8 discipline. So he's starting to hit pretty strong here as he maintains pace. Nate Lau goes up to silver, so he's still maintaining a solid year after having a really hot start. Plus 13 discipline and upgrades in his contact. Huge upgrades push him up to silver. And Mitch Moreland goes down to a 73, gets some downgrades in contact and power v righties, and a little bit of upgrades versus lefties, but that's really about it for the notable downgrades and upgrades as Riley Telez goes down to a bronze. Second base now, DJ LeMahieu. Sorry, I just did something there. Let me do that again. Alright. DJ LeMahieu, he went down to an 85. I was expecting him to go down to gold, but not quite. He did go down though. That was not surprising. Minus gets downgraded in his contact, downgrade in a power v righties. Big upgrade in discipline, however, and a minus 2 in his vision to maintain him at an 85 overall. Jeff McNeil now hitting the borderline diamond. Gets upgrades in his vision and discipline. Problem is, he didn't get much upgrades in his contact as it's a minus 8 versus righties and a plus 5 in lefties. Ozzy Albies stays at an 83. Upgrades and downgrades all over the place. Actually pretty almost neutral. He only got 1 point really. And he got a minus 9 in his contact v lefties. David Fletcher goes down to an 80. So his power obviously is going to go down, but his contact also goes down. Minus 10 versus righties. Minus 4 v lefties, and a minus 12 in his discipline, pushing down to that 80, which is a little depressing to watch. Colton Wong, though, goes up to an 80 overall gold, plus 6 in his contact v lefties, plus 5 in his power v righties, and a minus 2 in his contact v righties. Goes down, then it goes up. Brandon Lau, though, goes down to a silver, plus 2 in his contact v righties, plus 8 in his power v righties, but downgrades in his contact v lefties, power v lefties, and vision affect his overall increase. Joey Wendell stays at a 78. Gets some upgrade in contact and vision and discipline. Chris Taylor goes to 278, gets a plus 13 in his contact and lefties and plus 11 in discipline, being the most notable overall changes. Next up, Mike Moustakas goes down to a 77. Downgrades all over the place in hitting, but an upgrade in discipline. Nico Horner goes up to a 77. He has a really strong start, 389 batting average and 36 at-bats. Huge contact upgrades and discipline and vision put him up to a 77. Asdrubal Cabrera goes up to silver. I was watching this guy for a little bit. I wasn't too sure if he was going to go up, but I definitely was keeping an eye on him, and hey, at least I was kind of close on that. He does go up to a 75, gets some power and contact and righty upgrades, downgrades in his lefty stats, and huge upgrade in discipline. Millard goes down to a bronze, however. power downgrades, and -8 in his contact with lefties. But a huge upgrade in discipline does make the overall drop less as bad, but it's still not very good. Birdie, upgrades and downgrades, it's mostly neutral. Doesn't really change in stats. Some upgrades in other areas, but downgrades in others. Dylan Moore goes down to the 73. Contact downgrade, but discipline and power v lefties go up. Gavin Lux goes up to a 71, +8 in his contact v righties, and +2 in his vision. Next up, third base. So far, we're not really seeing too many notable changes. Arenado stays at an 89, gets some upgrades in his contact and power v lefties. Jose Ramirez gets a huge downgrade in his contact v lefties, but a huge upgrade in his power v righties. That's probably why he didn't go down a whole lot. Manny Charles is the first overall change we see here, as he gets downgrades in contact and power v lefties and righties, along with discipline going up though, but overall is not going to change the fact that he's now an 87. Anthony Rendon stays at an 86, nothing really changes. Alex Bregman goes down to an 85 now. He's hitting well, but probably not recently, which is why he does have the downgrade in his power, but he does have an upgrade in contact. Donaldson stays at an 83, not surprised, he's been hitting much better recently. Matt Chapman stays at an 83 overall. Justin Turner also stays at an 82. Nothing really too crazy, to be honest. Chris Bryant goes up to an 82. I was on the watch for this guy to go up. I knew he was going to go up, but I wasn't too sure when. And I was right that he went up to an 82. I have a feeling if he keeps hitting this well, he'll go up to diamond eventually. He gets upgrades on his contact and power and a -4 vision. So my honorable mention obviously did not go to diamond, but I was close. Rafael Devers stays at an 81, upgrading his power v righties. Gio Urshela stays at an 81, upgrades in lefty contact and power versus righties, but an upgrade in discipline also helps us out here. Guerrero goes up to an 81, having a very solid year still. Contact v lefties and power v righties go up along with discipline. Al Seager goes down to a 78, down in power, vision, discipline, and contact v lefties, but up in power. Alec Bohm mostly stays the same. Travis Shaw goes down to 73, Hunter Dozier escapes the silver tier, goes down to bronze, and downgrades in vision and discipline. Next up, shortstop. Trey Turner continues hitting well. He's up to an 86 now. Upgrades in contact and power v left power, but also a downgrade in discipline. Trevor Story goes down to an 86. Downgrades in power and upgrades in vision and discipline. Makes sense considering he hasn't hit a lot of bombs so far. Xander Bogaerts. He makes the jump to diamond, so our prediction was right there. Kind of unsurprising though, because everyone was pumping him up and they were right. He had a +3 contact v righties, +5 power v righties, and a -7 in discipline. Corey Seager stays at an 85, gets upgrades in contact v lefties and discipline. Lindor goes down to a gold. Okay. I understand why they did this. Don't get me wrong, guys. I understand exactly why they downgraded him, but he was hitting a lot better recently, so I was kind of surprised that they did it so quickly. Yeah, Lindor's officially a gold. Downgrades in contact, solid upgrade in power, I guess, and a minor downgrade in power, but +10 discipline does make the overall drop not too bad. Javier Baez goes up to an 83, gets contact and power v righty upgrades. Tim Anderson goes down to an 82, downgrades in contact and power v lefties, but upgrades in power v righties and contact v righties, and a big downgrade in vision. Gene Segura goes up to an 82 overall, upgrades in contact and upgrade in vision. Next up, Carlos Correa goes down to an 82, big downgrades in contact, very bad, and downgrade in discipline. Bo Bichette, mostly is neutral, staying at an 81. Upgrades in power do help that, but a downgrade in contact also keeps it neutral. Tommy Edman goes up to gold. Wow, he is having a better year. +14 is vision, +7 and +4 is contact do contribute to that gold upgrade. And Andrelton Simmons, dang, he got a downgrade in contact v righties. Upgrade in discipline, but a huge downgrade in vision, which do cause him to go down to 80, near silver now. Marcus Semien goes back up to gold. He went downgrade in the last update, but he started hitting better, and now he's back up in the gold region with upgrades in his contact and power. Miguel Rojas goes up to a 79. I was looking at this guy, but I wasn't too sure, and I'm glad I was right, because he didn't go up to gold, but he still got upgrades in the contact and lefties and discipline. Freddie Galvis goes up to silver now. He's having a much better year. Gets upgrades in his contact and power v righties. We all know someone's going to be happy about that. Brandon Crawford goes up to silver as well, as he finally got a power boost, contact v righty boost, and discipline. Dansby Swanson goes down to a 75, not having his best year. Culberson goes up to a 73. power upgrade. Willie Dames goes down to bronze. It's kind of depressing considering he had a 42 series card, plus 6 in his power v lefties, but overall, still 73. Eric Gonzalez goes up to a 72. Gets upgrades in his power v lefties and vision. Nico Goodrum down to 72. Not very good. Gets upgrades in his power, but a downgrade -6 in his contact with lefties. And Andres Jimenez, once near silver, now goes down to a 72. So we didn't get our Adam Frazier prediction, I don't think, correct, because he did not go up, really, or down, so, yeah. Moving on to left field, though. Sand does hit diamond. We were all expecting this as well, so that prediction is correct. Goes up to an 85 overall diamond, getting huge upgrades in contact, plus 7 power versus righties, pushed him up to the diamond tier. JD, who I predicted would go diamond, stays at an 83. He got downgrades in contact and power v lefties, but did get an upgrade in contact and power v righties and discipline. Hernandez stays at an 81. Michael Brantley goes down to an 81. Jordan Alvarez goes up to an 81, gets upgrades in his contact. O'Neill gets near gold with upgrades in contact and power v righties. Winkler stays at a 78, but gets a huge upgrade in his contact v righties. Everything else, not so good. McCutcheon goes back up to a 77, plus 11 in his contact v lefties and plus 7 in his power v lefties, with a plus 2 in discipline as well. And that's really all we can talk about there for, I guess, left fielders, as Dominic Smith goes down. Clint Frazier also goes down to a 74. Willie Calhoun goes up to a 73. Rojas and Garlick get solid upgrades of their own. Now on the center field. Acuna keeps his stride going, gets up to a 94 overall now. Plus 4 in his contact v lefties, plus 3 in his power v lefties, plus 1 in his power v lefties, and plus 8 in his vision. So guys, now you guys can get Acuna up to a parallel 5, and he'll be a 99 overall, I think. That is crazy. With inside edge too, a 99 at parallel 4 or 5. Byron Buxton goes up to an 88, so despite getting injured, he still got upgrades in his contact and power. Laureano goes up to an 83. Good upgrade in contact v lefties and power versus lefties. Put him up to an 83. Harrison Bader hits gold tier. Gets upgrades in his power and a solid upgrade in contact v lefties. Ramel Tapia goes up to a 79, getting upgrades in his contact and power versus righties and contact v lefties, and a plus 7 in his vision. Now he's near gold. Kane goes down to a 78. Downgrades in his contact, a slight upgrade in his power, but a downgrade also in -3 power versus lefties, but a plus 13 discipline keeps him at a 78. Kiermaier gets a huge downgrade. He hasn't really been hitting well, which is probably the contributing factor here. He's got a -10 contact v righties and a -13 vision, putting him at a 78. Kyle Lewis stays because, you know, he's been hitting in the middle, so we got upgrades in certain areas, but a huge downgrade in contact v righties and discipline. So center field has probably had the biggest impact on upgrades so far in terms of hitters. Because now we have Nick Senzel going up to a silver, and AJ Pollock going up even more now to a 77 overall. Let's look at Nick Senzel though. So we got some contact upgrades, plus 14 in discipline and vision. Wow, that's a huge plus 3 upgrade there. Tim Fuller stays at 76, upgrades in contact and power v righties. Daniel Margot goes up to a 76, gets a power v righties and vision upgrade. Let's look at Aaron Hicks down to 76 now. Jake Marisnick up to a 75 now, plus 4 in his upgrades in contact and power, plus 5 discipline pushes him up to silver tier. Moving on to right field, the final list. Mookie Betts goes down to a 91. Downgrades in contact and a power versus righties along with vision do decrease this. Next up, Aaron Judge. He's staying at an 89 overall. Gets upgrades in his contact and power v lefties, but downgrades everywhere else. Castellanos goes up to an 83. Definitely not surprising. He's been hitting very well. Upgrades in his power and contact versus lefties. Nelson Cruz goes down to an 83. So he gets a downgrade in contact v righties and discipline, so nothing too crazy, but still a downgrade nevertheless. Joey Gallo also goes down a little bit in his power, vision, and contact v righties, but his contact v lefties and discipline does go up. Will Myers stays at an 80 overall, so he maintains gold status with his vision and discipline upgrades. Kyle Tucker now borderlines gold almost, with plus 7 power versus righties and plus 10 discipline, but a -8 contact v lefties. Mitch Haniger gets upgrades in his power and contact, so that pushes him back up to a 78. Now looking at Randall Grichuk, you guys just saw, he went up to a 78 overall, so upgrades in his contact, upgrade in power versus lefties and vision do get him there. Max Kepler, he has been having a kind of slow year. Deserved the downgrades, up now down to a silver with his downgrades in contact, downgrade in power v righties, but upgrade in power v lefties. The -2 vision and -6 discipline do give this a huge downgrade for him. Lisel Garcia gets upgrades in contact, goes up to a 77 now. Jordan Luplow gets an upgrade in power of rays and discipline, but everything else goes down. Ramil Reyes goes down to a 76. -10 contact in lefties. At least he's not a bronze like the dames. Dylan Carlson goes up to silver now. It's a +8 in his contact in lefties and +3 in discipline. And Dallas Garcia, he has been hitting really hot recently. He deserves the contact and power upgrades along with discipline. Austin Meadows goes down to bronze now. Big contact decreases, power V lefty decrease. -4 vision, but +8 and +7 in power V righties and discipline. Alright guys, so that's the whole roster update recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't, make sure to like, subscribe if you're new. Tell me what you guys think of these upgrades, and if it benefited you. And I'll see you guys in the next Twitter stream. Take care, everyone. Peace!